Hey everyone, Mitch coming in for the Commander's Core studio. Welcome to the show. So on today's episode, I'm going to be talking about some brand new cards that you need to be picking up right now. Okay, well, they are brand new, I guess, but they are reprints. They are brand new reprints. You know what I mean? Regardless, there is a link in the description below to every single card I'm mentioning on this episode. So if you want to pick some of these cards up, make sure you check out that link. Now, with all that said, let's go. So first up, Boros Charm, finally budget friendly. I mean, this card, ever since I started Commander, I was like, yeah, Boros Charm, definitely a great card from when I was playing in Standard. Oh my goodness, yeah, no. That one definitely went up in price quite a bit really quickly with Commander's popularity, because this card is absolutely incredible. I mean, it's a very flexible card. Choose one. Hey, 4 damage to a player, Planeswalker. Yeah, this can just finish out a game if you really needed to. That's usually not what you're using it for, but still, permanents you control get indestructible out of turn. 2 mana to protect every single one of your permanents, even your lands. This does not specify not lands. So yeah, 2 mana, just do that. That is probably the most typical mode that you're going to pick for this one. And then the last one, yeah, giving a creature double strike, also a great way to, you know, just surprisingly hit a player for twice as much, essentially. Can be great for a Voltron strategy, or even, yeah, if an opponent's attacking with a big creature and someone else, hey, let's give that double strike and have it hit. Regardless, I probably talked too long about why this one is so impactful in Commander. Now, yeah, 83 cents for this brand new printing. In Phyrexia, all will be 1 commander. And as you can see, in comparison to all the other ones, you know, over $2 at the very least. Yeah, that is a massive drop. And really quick, yeah, mtgstocks.com, looking at the, you know, chart essentially to see, you know, the ebbs and flows of this price. This one did dip back into my budget territory a little bit, kind of around Streets of New Capenna, but not, you know, I mean, just hovering right around $1. I mean, for the most part, this has been like $4 to around $2 card as of recent. And you have this reprinting, it is underneath my, you know, $1 mark. It is 83 cents currently. So yeah, I'm not sure how long it's going to stay there. Make sure you pick this one up if you've been waiting for it to drop. Next up, how about Culling Ritual? This is a spicy card, a great board wipe. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less. So destroy all the small things, not the Blink-182 song. Regardless, add black or green for each permanent destroyed this way. So yeah, this is a wrath that can get rid of a lot of tiny things. I mean, just think about all the tokens you can take out with this. And when you do so, get a massive boost of mana. I mean, this can just pay for itself essentially, or even, you know, be a ritual for you, gain you even more mana. Now currently only 50 cents when, again, as you can see, compared to all the other prices, yeah, a $2 or $3 card for the most part. And yeah, MTG stocks chart, let's check it out. So yeah, I mean, this card over time, over the past, you know, 2 years or so, has gone from around $2 up to over $4, you know, ebbing and flowing here and there, but yeah, never really going underneath $2 for the most part. With this reprint again, basically, you know, cutting that price, you know, by at least a fourth, essentially. 50 cents is a very good deal for this card. Again, if you're waiting for a great wrath like this one, make sure you pick it up. Next up, a card that I cannot believe has never been budget friendly for me because, well, it's just so simple. And it's a card that Wizards could be printing quite a bit, and they started doing it finally recently, and now it's finally affecting the price. Yeah, Night's Whisper, very simple sorcery, 1 to black, draw 2, lose 2. I mean, basically like a Sign in Blood, but just for yourself, and easier to cast than Sign in Blood, so this can go in more decks, essentially. Again, Sign in Blood is black, black. This is 1 and a black. Now, you can't target another player, but still. 2 cards for 2 mana is massive. 2 life, not a big deal at all. Currently, 92 cents. This one will not stay at that price. I highly doubt it. And so, yeah, I mean, as I'm building decks right now, I'm going to try to make sure I can get this in as many as I can while it does stay within my own budget. Yeah, I mean, if you just look at the right side of the screen, you can see, yeah, 92 cents compared to, at the very least, basically like $3 or more for every single one of these. And this card has definitely been more expensive than that in the past. A quick look at MTG stocks. Thank you again, MTG stocks, for existing. You were great. Anyways, $2, you know, for a long, long time, spiking up to over $6 at a certain point because, yeah, card draw, kind of a big thing in Commander. And again, this is a very efficient, very effective, you know, piece of card draw, essentially. And yeah, I mean, it, ebbs and flows a little bit with a couple of reprints, still around $4 though before this reprint. And again, a massive price drop, finally going underneath $1, even within my budget territory. Probably not gonna last for long. So again, if you've been waiting for this one, make sure you pick up your copies now. Moving on, Finale of Glory. Yeah, this card was pretty expensive the second it came out in War of the Spark. Basically, hey, make a bunch of 2/2 soldiers with vigilance, but if you put a lot of mana into it, you're pretty much going to be able to end the game, because if X is 10 or more, you also, on top of those soldiers, create 4/4 Flying Angels with Vigilance, so good luck to your opponents. Basically, double up on the amount of tokens, and there are plenty of ways to, ramp to get the amount of mana that you need for that. Regardless, with this reprint, incredibly budget-friendly. 38 cents, that is all. That is an incredibly budget-friendly card, even for myself. And yeah, in comparison, as you can see, $3.49, and yeah, if you want the promo version, $7, a massive price drop. Looking at the MTG stocks chart, yeah, I mean, again, as I mentioned, start off around $2 for the most part, and stay there for a little bit, then some price changes, and yeah, not too long ago, this was a $6 card, one that I, again, just basically wrote off as, okay, yeah, even if I'm making a token deck, definitely not considering that, because definitely not going to be budget-friendly, and I didn't think that a single reprint would actually knock this one down as much as it has, and I'm very happy that it has, because, yeah, this is a great card for a good amount of decks out there, a great finisher, or just a great utility card early, essentially, for a deck that wants to make tokens. It's flexible, it's great, and now, very, very budget-friendly, again, just 38 cents. If you're waiting for this one, make sure you pick it up. Next up, we've got Coppercoats. Not sure exactly why I always, when I'm like, I just see the name Coppercoats, I'm just like, British, but also a really bad British accent. My apologies to all you British fans out there. I am very sorry. I am butchering the accent. Regardless, this is a fantastic token card. This is one that can make an absurd amount of tokens. Basically, hey, yeah, you just want to instant speed, make a token for every single creature that your opponents have. Great. I mean, yeah, you can choose specific opponents essentially and just add to that strive cost more and more, depending on what you need. This is an absurd token spell. This thing is incredible in basically any token deck out there. And actually, it did start off budget-friendly first, and I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. This is a budget-friendly card. And then the price went up quite a bit. Been reprinted once, now been reprinted twice, back down to 50 cents. So excited about this one. I don't know if you can hear my voice or not, but yeah, quite excited about this one. The potential of this card is just massive. A game-ending card itself, and especially with certain strategies, token strategies, aristocrat-style strategies, they love it. So yeah, definitely a great reprint. So let's take a look at the Coppercoats' finances. And yeah, like I mentioned, less than $1 to start, and I was super excited about that, and then it just spiked up to well over $4 at a certain point. Now again, with that reprint initially, kind of dropped back down. There have been times where it has been within my budget, again, less than $1, but it's kind of creeped up lately again. And yeah, with this reprint, it has solidified itself as, at least for the time being, a budget-friendly card at 50 cents. So yeah, if like me, you've been waiting for this one, make sure you pick it up. Let's move on, though, to Fischl Retreat. And yeah, this card, oh my goodness, is just so impactful. It is a fantastic card, especially for landfall strategy decks. And yeah, I gotta say, Retreat to Emeria, a good card, a good solid card. And then they're like, you know what, let's just make something that's very, very, very much better than that. And here's Fischl Retreat, a card that ever since Zendikar Rising has seen play in a ton of landfall decks. And even, decks that don't necessarily focus on landfall, but just happen to play lands, like, every deck. Decks that, focus on tokens, decks that focus on counters. Fischl Retreat is great at doing both. And yeah, a 44-cent card right now. Very excited about this reprint. And again, this is one that has been reprinted a decent amount of times. And so with that, again, its price has fluctuated quite a bit. But still, underneath my $1, I could not be happier about this card. So yeah, thank you, Wizards, for that reprint. And yeah, as you can see on MTG stocks, at the very left side of the screen, that market price was underneath $1 for just a little bit. And then, of course, it rose up to well over $1. And, outside of my personal budget restrictions, that being said, again, with this reprint, I mean, it seems like they keep reprinting it again and again and again, even though it is an incredibly good card and one that fits in a lot of decks out there. Its price is continuously getting knocked down. Again, currently 44 cents, a great deal for this card. So if you're in a landfall strategy, or again, a token strategy, or again, one that deals with counters, this card can do a lot for you. So yeah, make sure you pick it up. Next up, a card that I never really thought should be a common just because of how good this card can be. I mean, I guess rarity really doesn't matter all that much for the most part, except for, comes to price. But actually, with this one, it really didn't matter at all because this one's never actually been printed in an actual set, I don't believe. So yeah, Loyal Apprentice. A card that is technically a common, but does that really matter anyways? Regardless, a great card, one that has Lieutenant. At the beginning of combat of your turn, if you have your commander, you get a 1/1 Thought flying. This is a low-to-the-ground, hasty creature that can make you a ton of tokens throughout the game for free, essentially. Just having your commander in play will do that. It's a card that I absolutely loved when I started, building commander decks for the most part, was utilizing it in a lot of different strategies, and then the price just started going up and up and up and up and up, because this, I believe, has only been in commander products, really, except for the list, which kind of counts, kind of doesn't really count. Regardless, 45 cents right now. So again, if you've got a token-centric deck, if you've got one that wants to flood the board, if you've got one where you can count on your commander being in play a good amount of the time, this can do a ton of work for you. And like I mentioned, yeah, this one has seen a reprint, and that did knock its price down for a bit. I mean, this was at 50 cents for quite a while, but then, of course, just skyrocketed back up to $3, and yeah, was hovering around $2.50 essentially before this reprint. So this reprint is massive in dropping its price back down, at least for the time being. Again, 45 cents. We'll see how long that lasts again. If you've got, a token strategy, if you've got a go-wide strategy, or, an artifact strategy, essentially, this is an incredible card that can make you a lot of tokens throughout the game with very, very minimal effort. So yeah, make sure you pick it up. And speaking of minimal effort tokens, Court of Grace. Entering the battlefield makes you the Monarch, which is a great mechanic and a fantastic one that can give you a lot of card advantage throughout the game, and just a very interesting thing to bring into a commander game, forcing more and more attacks. It's great. Regardless, at the beginning of your upkeep, you get a 1/1 Spirit Flying. If you're the Monarch, though, you get a bigger creature, a 4/4 Angel with Flying instead. This is a great enchantment that, again, can add both potentially, card advantage for yourself, that Monarch, or, also, that just interesting piece of, having Monarch within, the actual game, forcing those attacks, and, of course, make you a lot of tokens throughout the game, 1/1 Flyers, which are, fine, or 4/4 Flyers, which can be massive, again, with this reprint. And I believe this is the first reprint this one's ever gotten, 71 cents. Finally in that budget territory that I absolutely love. So yeah, I can definitely think of a few decks that could utilize a card like this. And yeah, as you can see, for well over a year, this has not been within my budget territory, not even close to my budget territory. I mean, it started off around $2, which is twice as much. Went over $4 multiple times, and most recently, it was around $4. With this reprint, definitely has tanked the price quite a bit. Again, with its very first reprint, 71 cents. Not sure exactly how long that is going to last. So again, if you've been waiting for this card like me to be budget, make sure you pick this one up. But now it's time to talk about Silver Wing Squadron, another way to make a lot of tokens. Yeah, there's a lot of token-producing cards that got some great reprints in Phyrexia, all be one commander. Silver Wing Squadron, power toughness equal to the number of creatures you control, which again can be massive, especially for a token strategy. Flying and Vigilance, so that can hit really hard, can get through, and also be back for defense. Also, when it attacks, you get a number of 2/2 White Knight creature tokens of Vigilance equal to the number of opponents you have. So yeah, a card that is designed for commander, obviously. And yeah, if all three of your opponents are still there, guess what? You're getting 3 tokens on attack, which of course also, increases the power as well. So yeah, this is a card that can make a lot of tokens throughout the game, can do a lot of heavy lifting and a lot of heavy hitting. So yeah, currently just 46 cents. Which, yeah, you can see that price, it used to be around that price about a year ago or so, and yeah, it started creeping up more and more and more throughout the year. This is the very first reprint, and now, yeah, it was a $2 card essentially before this reprint, finally dropping it down again, cutting that price basically into a fourth. 46 cents is a good deal for this card, and I'm hoping that stays around that price for quite a while, so it stays within my budget territory. So yeah, if you're looking for a card like this, make sure you pick it up. Now, one card that has had an absolute journey as of late, Evolution Sage. This card is incredible. Again, another card where it's like, how in the world are you an uncommon? Evolution Sage has landfall whenever a land is battlefield under control. Proliferate, just, being able to, get more and more counters on anything. And, lands, when do those come into play? Well, a ton, especially in green decks. And, yeah, obviously you're in green with this. So this card can do an absurd amount of work in a lot of decks out there. There's plenty of decks out there that absolutely love getting more and more counters on things, whether that's, +1/+1 counters or -1/-1 counters on your opponent's creatures. Or, planeswalkers, getting more loyalty counters on them, or charge counters, or poison, that as well. So yeah, this card has had an absolute journey as of late. It is 43 cents currently, And yeah, right before, this, new set came out, right before Phyrexia came out, it's like, yeah, this card's going to get expensive because Infect is back. Well, not Infect, Toxic, but, basically, Poison is back in a big way. So, yeah, it's not surprising Evolution State's got a lot of, attention lately. And, yeah, with this reprint, drop that price back down so that even I can pick this one up. So yeah, as you can see over the past few years, this one has had quite the journey. I mean, again, there have been times that I've been able to utilize it. There have been times that I've been able to use this card in a few decks, and other times where I, then just happen to go, make a different deck that can utilize it really well, and I go to search for it, and I'm like, my goodness, it is now $2. I cannot use this card. So yeah, as you can see, it's had quite the journey lately, and I'm happy to see that it is, once again, back in budget territory. 43 cents is an absolute steal for this card, so yeah, make sure you pick it up if you've been waiting for it to get into the budget territory. Moving on, an adorable little mirror that's done nothing wrong, Plague Mirror. Okay, it has Infect. Regardless, it's a 2 mana, Infect mirror that can tap for colors. It's a little dork. It's just a little dork. There's nothing threatening at all about it except for, that word Infect. Yeah, this card was incredibly budget friendly when I started playing, and it's one that I definitely utilized. I mean, at the very least, I believe I utilized it in my Joy deck. And yeah, just a great low to the ground mana dork. Cool. Awesome. But also, yeah, if you've got a way to, maybe pump this, you can make it hit for incredible amounts of Infect damage. And also, I mean, if you've got, ways to proliferate, another way to take your opponents out, again, with a mana dork. How many mana dorks can say that they can be so threatening that they can take out your opponents? Currently, this one is 93 cents for this reprint. Again, this is one of those where, like, I did look it up recently, before, the new set came out and that kind of stuff. I was like, you gotta be kidding me as to what this price is. But yeah, players out there, obviously, well, love mana dorks and also love Infect, and especially adorable little mirror like this one. So yeah, 93 cents. We'll see how long it stays within my budget. I mean, this card has been on quite the journey as of late. Yeah, around $2 for quite some time, and then all of a sudden spiked up to like $6, when Phyrexia was really starting to take over, like it's been in the story. Regardless, so yeah, I mean, this card has just dropped, plummeted in price ever since that reprint, all the way down to 93 cents. Now, of course, with that brand new, exciting commander for Mir, obviously, the more and more popular that commander gets, the more and more times this card is going to be bought and placed in those decks, most likely. So yeah, I'm not expecting this one to stay budget for all that long, nor am I expecting many reprints of this one. So yeah, if you have been waiting for this one to drop into budget territory, pick this one up now. But now let's jump into a couple of lands that have been reprinted that are fantastic cards, like Paducah Bog, that now is again within my budget territory. Yeah, this one just kind of keeps going up and down and up and down and up and down. Yeah, very standard, Paducah Bog. It, enters the battlefield tapped. Exiles a graveyard, taps for a black. Very simple card. Great graveyard hate. Can help you out in a lot of situations, except, when it's the first lane you play in a game. But yeah, later on, this can be a great card, a card that can really save you. And again, a card that just takes up a land slot, 71 cents currently. And yeah, this price has been basically everywhere. There have been times where it's like, oh yeah, definitely a card I can use within my budget. Other times like, definitely not. Definitely not. So yeah, Paducah Bog has seen a lot of reprints throughout the years, and yeah, it's been like kind of like a between $1 and $2 card with sometimes dipping underneath $1. So if you've been waiting for that dip, here you go. There's your dip right now, 71 cents underneath $1. Probably won't last all that long. So again, if you've been waiting for Paducah Bog to drop, and you maybe have a few decks that could utilize it, maybe pick up a couple of copies of it. Next up, we've got Castle Aldenvale. Again, not sure why there's an accent there. A terrible accent. Here we go. Enters battlefield tapped unless you control a plane. So, hey, if you're playing in a mono-white deck, yeah, chances are very, very likely you're going to have a plane. So, yeah, this can fit in, not going to say every single mono-white deck out there, but nearly every mono-white deck out there. I mean, this is just a good, solid card that essentially is probably going to enter the battlefield untapped the vast majority of the time. And then, yeah, what's the difference between this and a plains, essentially? Except for the fact that this one can make you human creature tokens. Just on a whim, you're like, yeah, I got some extra mana, whatever. I can just, okay, I'll place a token down there. You can just even utilize them as, like, chump blockers, essentially. Hey, okay, someone's going to swing at me with a giant creature. Doesn't have trample. Cool, I've got 5 mana. Oh, 4 mana plus this untap. You know what I mean. Basically 5 mana. Yeah, I'll tap them all. I'll make a token. I'll chump block. Or, yeah, build up your army over time. Utilize, anthem effects. Mono white things, essentially. Tokens, anthems. yeah, 45 cents is an absolute steal for this card right now. I can see this one not staying at that price for very long, though. Because, yeah, this card, speaking of journeys for cards when it comes to price, this thing has been up and down and up and down and up and down. I mean, spiking up to $4 at some points, hovering around $2 for the most part, you know. But basically, I mean, even with some reprints in there, with the new Capenna Commander, dropped down a little bit, obviously, you know, was slightly budget. I think I actually got it into, like, one deck, like, during that time. Essentially, was like, oh, it's budget, my goodness, no way! And then, you know, just jumps all the way back to $4. So, yeah, with this reprint, back down for now to 45 cents. We'll see how long that lasts, though. So, yeah, if you've been waiting for this one, make sure you pick it up. Now we're going to go speed round for these last ones, at least if I don't ramble too much like I usually do. Regardless, Fury Calm Snarn enters the battlefield. You can reveal a mount or plains card from your hand. If you don't enter the battlefield, tap and it taps for a red or a white. Wizards is starting to actually reprint good land cards and place them in precons more and more often lately. And yeah, I mean, this card from Strixhaven has not been budget, to my knowledge, for quite some time, or, you know, if ever, essentially. And yeah, this is a land, a land that can tap for 2 colors and can enter the battlefield untapped in many scenarios. So it's a very effective, land that can help you out in a lot of situations, for a lot of Boros decks out there. And, it's just 36 cents. So a great price for a land that can be very impactful. And looking at the chart, yeah, I mean, it's been at least over $1, creeping up on $2 recently. And with this reprint, back down all the way to 36 cents. Very budget friendly. We'll see how long that lasts. But again, thank you, Wizards, for finally reprinting, good lands in the precons. And yeah, I mean, 36 cents. If you've been waiting for it, go ahead and pick some up. And really quick, because yeah, these are basically the exact same card, just in different color combinations. Necro Blossom Snarn. Hey, yeah, Swamper Forest, 37 cents, slightly more expensive than the last one, but again, a great deal. And finally, oh so pricey, Shine Shadow Snarl, 39 cents. And this one is for plains or swamps, and yeah, plenty of decks out there can utilize a great card like this. And with that, today's episode is coming to a close, so yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on it in the comments below. And of course, as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG Player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.